Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you to this Bhakti Vaibhav Fast Track course. And as I told earlier, that I will pray to Sri Radha Govinda that may your bhakti also become fast and at right track. So with that, let us start the session. So today we are going to discuss chapter 2, shloka number 9 to 15. Okay. So before that, let us summarize whatever we have studied so far, whatever we have discussed. So Srimad Bhagavatam started with the first chapter in which there are lots of sages and they are performing some kind of ritual from many years, but nothing is coming out. And usually, whenever they used to do sacrifice, some results used to come out. Okay, but why the results are not coming? Because the yajna or the sacrifice is not the process of Kali Yuga. So if we want to benefit anyone in this age of Kali, so only one way is to chant the name of Lord Hari. As mentioned in the sloka, Harer Nam Eva Kevalam. Okay. So only by the name of Lord Hari we can get the results in Kali Yuga. So that is why the sages in Naimisharanya are performing some rituals, but they are getting no results or no effect. So seeing their effort, what happened? Lord became merciful upon them. So whenever we do some effort, so Lord sends some devotees in our life. Like in case of Dhruv Maharaj, we saw he was searching for Lord and he was struggling very hard. So what happened? So Lord sent whom? Narad Muni, right? So similarly, the sages of Naimisharanya, they were they were performing some kind of ritual. They were struggling hard. So Lord sent whom? Can you tell whom Lord sent? Sukadev Goswami or whom? You can raise your hand. So I will unmute you and you can answer. Okay. So this will be an interactive session. Okay. Just not only here for listening, but to discuss. So whom Lord sent? Sukadev Goswami or whom?
Sota Goswami.
Yeah. So the correct answer is Suta Goswami, because generally we think that we are confused between Suta Goswami and Sukadev Goswami. So that confusion we will clear today, that what is the difference. So actually, Suta Goswami is different from Sukadev Goswami. Okay. So Suta Goswami is son of Harshan Rishi. So who is Harshan Rishi? That you will see in upcoming cantos. So Harshan Rishi was also a great sage, and he used to have the knowledge of all the Purana, and he used to tell the stories from Puranas, and he was very expert in this. So we will not go in that story. That is very different story, and it will take some more time. Maybe in future we will discuss. So Suta Goswami is son of Harshan Rishi, sage Harshan. And by the divine arrangement of Lord, he arrived at the place called Naimisharanya, where these sages were performing the rituals. And these sages were performing ritual under their leader. Who was the leader? What was the name of leader of the sages? Can anybody tell what was the name of the leader? Yes, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Leader was Rishi Shaunak.
Yeah. So leader was Rishi Shaunak. That is why we call it Shaunak Adi Rishi. Shaunak Adi Rishi in Sanskrit means Shaunak and his team. Okay, Shaunak Adi Rishi. So they were performing the ritual under Shaunak Rishi. So they collected together, and when they saw that great saint is coming, so who is none other than Suta Goswami, so they immediately gave him some asana to sit, and they inquired about their queries. And if you see their queries, they asked 6 questions. Okay, you might have noted down in last session that the sages asked the 6 questions, and all the Bhagavatam is what? All the Bhagavatam is answer to these 6 questions only. Like in Bhagavadgita, we saw that in first chapter, Arjuna asked 5 questions. Okay, and then all the Bhagavad Gita is answer to those questions only. So similar pattern is followed here. Here, the Sonakadi Rishi, they asked 6 questions. Okay, so we will see what are those 6 questions, and we will also learn one thing, that what should we ask to any saintly person, because in general what happens when some saintly person comes or we see some saintly person, so people start asking that person about their future, their business, their marriage. But actually, we should learn from the sages of Naimisharya, Sonakagarishi, that what should be the right attitude to ask questions. So they were not asking about their benefit, they were asking about the benefit of all the humanity. So that is why they are called Rishi. So Rishi, what is the meaning of Rishi? Ri. So Ri Dhatu in Sanskrit comes for Ri means to watch. So Rishi are those persons who can watch future, or they can see what is going to happen in future, or they are worried about the future. Okay, those persons are called Rishi. So they could see that in future Kali Yuga is coming, and people are losing the good qualities slowly, and they will not have some good intellect as well. They will be very lazy in sense of spiritual knowledge. Okay, if I say that people are lazy, then you can argue, no, how can you say? In Delhi we have seen people are working day and night. So lazy means lazy in spiritual subjects. Maybe in their routine work they are not lazy, but lazy in sense of spiritual subjects. Okay, so they could clearly see all these things, and they were very much worried about these things. So that is why they were performing the austerity for the benefit of all the people of Kali Yuga. So the same questions they asked to Sutta Goswami. Okay. So what are those 6 questions? We will go through those questions quickly. So maybe you have already read in previous sessions. So we will go quickly over. Yeah. So I hope you can see this slide. So there are 6 questions. First question was, what is the ultimate good for the people in general? Okay. So they are thinking about the benefit of the society. They are not asking about themselves. And secondly, what they are asking, what is the essence of all the scriptures? Why they are asking? Because we know that we have 4 Vedas and mainly 18 Puranas, 18 Mahapuranas. Totally how much Puranas we have, we don't know, because there are n number of Puranas. But Mahapuranas are 18. And similarly, we have various Samhitas, various Upanishads, 8 primary Upanishads. And like that, we have Mahabharata and Ramayana, which are part of Itihas. But the people of Kali Yuga are so dull-minded that they cannot study all the Vedic scriptures. So how will they get this knowledge? So the sages are asking that if you give the essence of this knowledge, then it will be beneficial for those generations, okay, those people. So that is why they ask what is the essence of all the scriptures for the benefit of people of Kali Yuga. And the third question they asked was, for what purpose did Lord Krishna appear? So why specifically about Krishna? That we will discuss in upcoming chapter. Because in all the Puranas, they have mentioned about all the gods, all the demigods, all the avatars. So in general, people are always confused that whom should we worship or who is our ultimate goal. And generally, there is a mindset that who. Okay, I think there is some internet issue, so I will again change the location of. So yes. So why they are asking about Krishna specifically? Because there are lots of demigods or lots of methods of worship are mentioned in different Puranas. Different deities are mentioned to be worshipped. So in general, people may get confused and they may think that all are same. Whoever you worship, you will get the same result. Like you have your hand. Okay, in your hand there are 5 fingers. So all the fingers they form one punch. So like that, whoever demigod or whoever deity you worship, you will get the same result. Ultimately, it is one. But that theory is itself refuted by Bhagavadgita, and Bhagavadgita clearly mentions that Yanti Devrata Devan, Pitran Yanti Pitravrata, Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya, Yanti Mat Yajino Abhima. If you worship demigods, you will achieve those. If you worship the Pitras, the forefathers, you will go to them. If you worship the ghostly personalities, you will go to them. And if you worship me, then you will achieve me. So Krishna is not saying that whoever you worship, you will get the same result. Okay. So it means that Krishna is different than demigods, than other deities. And what is the difference? That also Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is saying, Aham Adihi Devanam Maharshinam Cha Sarvasha. So I am the source of all the demigods. And not only saying, but also demonstrating in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in which Arjuna is saying, Pashyami Devas Tava Deva Dehe, Sarvan Tatha Bhuta Vishesh Shangan, Brahmana Misham Kamalasanastam, Rishim Cha Sarvan, Urgascha Divyan. I can see all the demigods in your Virat Rupa, in your universal form. There is Lord Shiva and there is Lord Brahma. Okay, like that he could see all the demigods. So from that on, and there are many verses by which we can understand that Krishna is separate from demigods. Krishna is not an ordinary devata. Okay. So that is why there must be a Purana which clearly highlight this aspect of Krishna. And for that purpose only the Srimad Bhagavatam was written. So in upcoming chapters, we will see that which thing inspired Vedavyasa to write this Purana. Because he was not satisfied after writing all the Vedas and Puranas, because he has not mentioned Krishna specifically. So that is why Okay, he's asking that these sages are asking that for what purpose did Lord Krishna appear? Who is Lord Krishna? Which adventures Lord performs in his incarnations? Okay, what are the activities of the incarnations? And to whom have religious principles gone for shelter after his departure? So when Lord Krishna will go to his abode, Golok Dhama, how will people get benefit? Because the Kalyuga people are so dull-minded that in future they can say that there was no Krishna, no one like that. It is all mythology. So how will these people get benefit? Because they will think that, oh, Krishna may be an imaginary person because Krishna has gone to his abode. So what will happen to them? So ultimately, if you see, all the questions are asked for our benefit only, for the people of Kali Yuga. And why we are discussing this? Because the second chapter is answered to some of these questions. So in second chapter, Suta Goswami will start answering. So now we will go to second chapter. Okay. So this was the essence of first chapter, which you already covered. Now moving to second chapter, we will see. So I'm directly reading from database. So in second chapter is named as Divinity and Divine Services. So in this chapter, the bhakti is glorified and devotional service is glorified. So now, after listening to all these questions, okay, so what was the reaction of Suta Goswami? So we saw that when Arjuna asked questions, so what was the reaction of Krishna? Krishna became very angry and Krishna scolded Arjuna and he told that Kutastha kasmalamidam visame samupastitam anarejustam aswargam akirtikam Arjuna. Arjun, how can you think like that? Kutastha kasmalamidam. From where these things came into your mind? I do not expect these things from such a brave person, such an intelligent person, such a devotee. So like that, Krishna scolded Arjuna, then Arjuna surrendered, and then Krishna started answering. So Guru can scold sometime. There is no problem in that. And it is not that Krishna did not answer the questions of Arjuna. He answered and he listened peacefully first. And then he started speaking. And he cleared all the doubts of Arjuna. Similarly, we saw in first chapter, the Suta Goswami is listening very carefully and he is not interrupting the Sonakadi sages. So that is the art. So the best speaker is one who is the best listener. Okay. So Krishna also did the same thing. He listened carefully, and then similarly, the Suta Goswami is listening all the questions, and now he started speaking. So what he did? First of all, he did Mangala Charan, and he offered the obeisances to his Guru, to Narayana, and to Saraswati. And his Guru is his father, Vyasadeva. Okay. Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatujaya Mutire. So like that, he performed this Mangala Charana, auspicious prayer. So before we start speaking, we should remember our Guru and we should remember the Lord and His mercy, because the spiritual subjects are very different. These are not like an academic coaching that we will pay and we will get knowledge. Spiritual subjects are revealed by the Lord in the heart of the devotees. And Krishna Sakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartan. without mercy of Krishna, without sanction of Krishna, we cannot preach about Krishna. Krishna Shakti bina nahi kara pravarti. So that is why before asking about Krishna, before discussing the spiritual subjects, we should beg the mercy of Guru Parampara and Krishna. Okay. So that is what we are learning from whom? From Suta Goswami. And we are following the same thing. And when Suta Goswami heard all the answers, all the questions by the sages, he became very happy and very joyful. And he asked, Munaya sadhu prashtoham. So you have asked very nice questions. So Munaya means all the sages. Okay. Sadhu prashtoham, you have asked a very nice question. Sadhu means very nice. Initially we used to say sadhu means very nice. Why your questions are very nice? Because Bhavadvi Lokamangalam. These are not for your own benefit. You are asking for Bhavadvi Lokamangalam. You are asking for Lokamangalam for the benefit of everyone. So that is why these questions are very nice, because you are asking for everyone. You are not asking for yourself. And yet kritaha Krishna samparshno yenatma supraditsidati. And these questions are related to Krishna. By asking such questions, your heart is satisfied, your soul is satisfied. So that is why your questions are very important and very nice. Okay. So I will not go to that. You already discussed these shlokas. And then he started answering all the questions one by one. So first question was that what is the ultimate benefit of all? And second question was, what is the essence of all the scriptures? So in this chapter, we will deal mainly with these two questions. So what is the essence of all the scriptures? And what is the ultimate aim? So this is the answer. Save punsa paro dharmo yato bhakti radokchaje ahetu ke pratihata yayatma suprasidati. So the best thing to follow, or the best dharma, is yato bhakti radokchaje, to serve the Supreme Lord, which is called adhokchaje. Adhokchaje means one who is beyond our senses. Aksha means our eyes or our senses. Adho means pare, who is beyond our senses. So to worship the Lord who is beyond our senses, and real devotional service is ahetuki. Ahetuki apratihata. Ahetuki means without any self motive. And apratihata, it is continuous. It is not like a pond. It is continuous. And yayatma suprasidati. And by this devotional service, our atma, our soul, is pleased or satisfied. So bhakti is parodharma. Why bhakti is parodharma? That we have already discussed in last session. So now we will start from text 7. And today we will try to cover from 7 to 15. Now, answering further the same subject, the Suta Goswami explains that why bhakti is parodharma. Because Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyatya Suvairagyam Jnanam Jayat Ahetukam. So bhakti is parodharma because if somebody performs the bhakti to the Vasudeva, to the Supreme Lord, so what happens? He doesn't need to perform any other separate processes such as Jnanam and Vairagyam. Jnanam means Jnana Yoga. And Vairagyam means detachment. So if one does bhakti, naturally the detachment and the knowledge of Supreme comes into his practice. It doesn't need to perform or seek for those things separately. So that is why bhakti is parodharma. Jnanam is not parodharma. Vairagyam is also not parodharma. But bhakti is parodharma because bhakti includes both jnanam and vairagyam. But reverse is not true. Suppose somebody is very detached, but it is not necessary that he will be a devotee. So like we give the example of monkey. Monkey is very detached. He doesn't make any house. Someday he will live on one tree. Another day he will live in some different tree. He doesn't wear the clothes. He is eating kandamula or he is on fruit diet, which we say nowadays. So it seems that he is very detached. But as soon as he sees the female monkey, so he becomes agitated. So detachment is not the parameter of bhakti. Okay. And bhakti doesn't depend upon anything. Bhakti is independent. Other things depend upon bhakti. Bhakti is mother. So that is why it is not necessary. And similarly with Jnanam, somebody might be having the knowledge of Vedas. He might be knowing all the shlokas. Like we say that Ravana was a very genius of Vedas. But what is the use? If somebody is having knowledge of Vedas, but not serving the Supreme Lord, it is like the donkey is having the bunch of sandalwood on his back. So sandalwood, donkey is holding sandalwood, and sandalwood is very costly, very nice. But what is the use? Because for donkey it is boj, it is just weight. Similarly, if someone is having the knowledge of Vedas, but he is not doing bhakti, so that will become boj, that will become a weight on his shoulders. So that is why it is necessary to perform all the activities to please the Lord Hari. And that is what Suta Goswami is telling. Okay. That is what Suta Goswami is giving us the message. Okay. So we will see how with some examples and some discussions. So you just ready for, you all just get ready for discussions. Okay. We will discuss this shloka. This is very important shloka. And this is answer to the first and second question. Okay, what is the ultimate goal? So Vasudeva Bhakti is ultimate goal, and it is independent from Jnanam and Vairagyam. So can any devotee read this purport by Srila Prabhupada? Hare Krishna. You can raise your hand and you can read. Then we will discuss. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Sangeeta Mati. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prema Priya Mataji. You can unmute.
Hare Krishna. Bhakti is simultaneously sublime and easy. The Bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are seriously about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of Bhakti. To achieve the contact of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna is a great science and it is open for all living beings, including the Sudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low bound Sudras. So, what to speak of the high class men like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self realized kings? The other high grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc., all corollary factors following the pure and scientific bhakti cult. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So yes, so Srila Prabhupada is explaining that why bhakti is superior, why bhakti is parodharma. Because anybody can perform the bhakti yoga. And especially in Hare Krishna, sorry for interrupting again and again. I'm having some network issue. So yeah, we'll start again. Yeah, so what Srila Prabhupada is saying that why bhakti is parodharma? Because anybody can perform bhakti yoga. There is no restriction. Okay. There is no restriction of age, gender, caste, creed, nation. You can perform bhakti in any circumstances. Like when you speak about Jnana Yoga, if you want to have the knowledge of Vedas, you must be having some good knowledge of Sanskrit, grammar, and not only grammar. There are Shad Darshan. You must have knowledge of this Shad Darshan. Okay, 6 philosophies. Then only you can understand the exact meaning of Vedic verses. Okay, and we don't have that much time to read first of all, it is very hard to have a good knowledge of Sanskrit. That itself takes 12 to 14 years. And then having knowledge of other Angas, and then reading Vedas, and then after that coming to the correct conclusion. It is not possible for everyone. And specifically, there are some classes who are not eligible for reading some sections of Vedas. Okay. So Jnana Yoga is not for everyone. Similarly, when it comes to Ashtanga Yoga, everybody cannot perform it. Suppose somebody is suffering from some bad health, how can he perform Ashtanga Yoga? He cannot follow Yama Niyama. Rules and regulations of Ashtanga Yoga are so strict that in Kali Yuga it is very hard to follow. And some prerequisites are very tough. Like you must be living in a sacred place, secluded place. And there is no such thing nowadays. Even if you go Badrinath, you will find some people roaming around there. So that is not secluded at all. Nowadays, no place is secluded. Everywhere you will find the people. So you cannot perform Ashtanga Yoga. Everybody cannot perform Ashtanga Yoga. Maybe few people can do, but it is not for everyone. But in Bhakti, there is no limitation. Krishna is saying in Bhagavadgita, Mami Partha Vipashita, Yopi Shupap Yoneha, Striya Veshat Tatha Sudras, Tepi Anti Paramgati. Anybody can take my shelter. And whether be it Shudra, whether be it ladies or gents, or Papa Yonaya, whether he is born in the family of Chandala, anybody can get purified by taking my shelter. And what to say about the devotees and the Brahmanas? Kim punar Brahmana punya bhaktaha rajarishya sata. So that's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in this part. But the same Bhagavad Gita verses, I think these are 9.32 and 9.33 verses of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhakti is parodharma because anybody can perform Bhakti in any situation. Suppose you are lying on bed and you are having some problem, some bad health, and you cannot move your body, still you can perform Bhakti. So how can you perform bhakti in such situations when you are not able to move your body parts and you are completely on bed rest? How will you perform bhakti in that situation? So that is my question to all of you. Yes.
By
Hare Krishna
chanting
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
by
Hare
chanting
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam.
Yes.
Hearing
Yeah.
also.
Yes.
Mentally.
Yes. Yes. So correct. And bhakti can go up to that extent that even if you are not able to listen, okay, Shravanam, and even if you are not able to do Kirtanam, Smaranam you can do. Mentally you can offer to the Lord and Lord accepts. So in Pujari training or when you do DT service, so there is one part of a DT service which is called Mansik Seva. So before performing the items to the DT, we perform first mentally. So why we do that? Because in Kali Yuga, the items are not pure, whatever we are offering to the Lord, and there may be some fault on those items. So that we cannot, in that case, we cannot do anything. Okay, we will try our best to buy the good quality items for the Lord, but again, it is not in our control. Somebody may cheat you, somebody may do some adulteration in some items, food items. So we perform mental worship. We offer best to the best things to the Lord. Okay, whatever we can imagine best, we perform to the Lord, and Lord accepts. So that is the beauty of bhakti. Anybody can do bhakti, whether be it kid, be it woman, anybody. So that is why it is called Parodharma. Srila Prabhupada is saying that is why it is called Parodharma, because everybody can perform this devotional service. That is the beauty of devotional service. Now coming to the Jnana and Vairagya. So there are many verses supporting this, that how by cultivating bhakti, Jnana and Vairagyam, Jnana and Vairagya, it automatically comes. Like in Bhagavad Gita, and this is Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. So Tesham Satatyuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purokam. If somebody tries to serve Krishna Priti Purokam sincerely, and so what Krishna does, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Krishna gives them intelligence. Okay. If somebody puts the efforts to please Lord, Lord will give intelligence. Yena mam upyantite, by which they can achieve me, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna gives intelligence, one who tries to serve Krishna. But reverse is not true. Okay, you might be an intelligent person, you may not be a devotee. So that is why it is said that Krishna, Jai Krishna Bhaje Se Bado Chatur. One who is serving Krishna, actually that person is intelligent. And we should not think that devotees are fool because they are not having the knowledge of Vedas. Even they are not having knowledge of Vedas. They do not know Sanskrit. But still they are intelligent because they understand the conclusion of Vedas, which nobody can understand. Na ham vedena tapasa, na danena na chejya, shakya evam vido drishtum, drishtavana mamyata, bhaktya tu ananya shakya, aham evam vido arjuna, gyatum drishtum cha tattvena, praveshtum cha parantapa. So Krishna is saying in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I think 54th or 55th verses are these verses, that Naham Vedena Tapsa, neither one can understand me by reading the Vedas, na tapasa, nor by austerity, na danena na chajya, nor by some charity and nor by chajya, nor by some worship. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham evam vidu Arjuna. By devotional service only I am to be known. Okay. So one can understand Krishna by only devotional service. Bhaktya mama janati yavan chasmi tattata. By only devotional service we can understand Krishna. So why sometimes this question comes in mind, why only by devotional service we can understand Krishna? Why not by reading the Vedas? You know? So the answer is very simple. I will give you an analogy. Nowadays you have social media accounts. Okay, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, mostly. So your all the information is there. Okay, what is your date of birth? Which color you like? What is your favorite food? What is your favorite place? And etc. etc. What are your favorite books? So some of your some anonymous person can understand about you, have some knowledge about you. But even after getting this information from your social media account, he cannot understand you. But your mother or your father or your parents or your near and dear one, they can understand you better. They might not having that much knowledge at what is your favorite color, what is your favorite cloth, whatever you have put on social media. Or still they can understand you better. Why? Because they love you. See, social media, a person in social media, they may be knowing that you like bhindi ki sabji or aloo ki sabji, but your mother will know that you like the last part of aloo ki sabji, which is lightly burnt, okay, and which is scratched from the pot, because she loves you. That much knowledge. So who can understand you better? The person who loves you, not the person who reads about you. So similarly, we can understand about Lord from the Vedas. Their information is given. But if we do not love Krishna, we cannot understand him. And what we call that love, that is devotional service. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Priti means love. So that is why devotee understand Krishna better than others, better than Jnani, because he loves Krishna. Okay, more than those persons. The Jnani ultimately wants to merge into the Brahman. He doesn't want to serve. The yogi, he also doesn't want to serve. He also wants liberation. But only devotee, he neglects the liberation, he kicks the liberation, and he wants to serve the Supreme. Bhukti mukti spraha yavat pisachi hirdi vartate tavat bhakti sukhasyatra katham abhyudayo bhavet. Rupa Goswami is saying in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if there is a tinge of bhukti, bhoga, enjoyment, mukti, liberation in your heart, then how can you feel the loving devotional service? Katham abhyudaya bhavet. So like that, there are many shloka which support this statement. So the point is that the devotional service is best which pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which pleases Krishna most. And that is why Krishna reveals himself to the devotees. Even they are not having any knowledge, but Krishna reveals as a Paramatma in their heart all the knowledge. Like Dhruv Maharaj, when Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him, he doesn't know any Sanskrit sloka or anything about Lord, but he wanted to glorify the Lord. But how to do that? He doesn't know anything about Lord. He is seeing first time. He has not read anything. He doesn't know anything. So what Lord Vishnu did? He just put his conceal on his head. He he just gave him the divine knowledge. Okay, Krishna revealed himself in his heart, and after that he was able to praise the Lord. He was able to say something about the Lord. So that is the best example. Okay, so never think that devotees doesn't have any knowledge. So there are many shlokas which I can refer, but now we have to cover this this assigned syllabus in some assigned time. Okay, like in Bhagavadgita, there is one shloka. I will give just one example. Krishna says in second chapter, I think 46 verse, Yavanart udapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedesu brahmanasya vijanatah. So a person who understands the conclusion of Vedas, so he is perfect. Like, then he gives one example, Yavanat udapane sarvatah samplutodake. Like if there is a river, then no need to go to different wells. Like in earlier time, there used to be different wells for washing clothes, for cattle, for bathing, for drinking water. There used to be different wells. But if there is rivers, there is river nearby, no need to go to each wells. So similarly, one who understands the conclusion of Vedas, who serves the Lord, he doesn't need to perform all the activities, all other activities. All other activities means all other paths like karma yoga, jnana yoga, etc. And that is the okay. So what is the definition of pure devotional service given by Rupa Goswami? Can anybody tell? That is the essence of all these things which we are discussing right now. Okay. So I will unmute and you can just tell. Okay. I will unmute everyone. Yeah, what is the definition of pure devotional service? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yes. What is the definition of pure devotional service? Okay, I'm not able to. Yeah, I don't know. I think my network is not good. So the definition of pure devotional service is Anya Vilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavratam. So the pure devotional service is selfless and it is not having the mixture of jnana and karma. It is independent of jnana and karma. So that is the definition of pure devotional service. Okay. So next, attachment to Krishna makes one automatically detached from the sense enjoyment. Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. So when one gets the higher taste, is detached from the material enjoyment. And not only material enjoyment, even if someone is having some inclination towards the formless worship or towards the nirakar. Nirakar, I hope you understand. You all understand Nirakar. Nirakar means to consider supreme truth as formless. So these persons are called Nirakarvadis. Okay. So even if someone is Nirakarvadi, he can also be attracted from the qualities of the Lord. The qualities of the Lord are so beautiful, so wonderful that even Nirakarvadi can get attached to these. Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udharadi. And similarly, there are many shlokas in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says that these types of person can get attracted. And Sukadev Goswami is one of the example which we will discuss, that how he was Nirakarvadi, but later when he heard about Krishna, so he got attracted. But reverse is never true. We do not hear any example that when somebody was devotee and then he became Nirakarvadi. It is not there is no any single case, but there are many cases. Some person was having a Jnana Yogi, okay, a Nirakarvadi, but after listening about the glories of Krishna, they became devotee. So can you give some examples of such persons who are Nirakarvadi or Jnana Yogis, but after listening about Krishna, they become devotees? Hare Krishna.
Kumaras.
Yes.
Kumaras.
Valmiki,
Shukamuni.
Yeah, Sukadeva Goswami also.
Shukamuni.
Okay. Yes.
Bhattacharya. Narada.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Yes. He was also one of Prakashanand Saraswati and Chaitanya Charitamrita. There are
Saraswati.
yeah. So there are many examples in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well. Okay. So thank you. Now moving to the next. So I will read it quickly. So Bhakti Yoga means detachment and knowledge. Somebody thinks like that foolishly, that Bhaktas are generally fools and rascals, and therefore they take to Bhakti Yoga. But actually, that is not Bhakti Yoga. One who has taken to Bhakti Yoga, he cannot be fools or rascals. He must be very learned. Swayam eva spuratyada. Okay. How he becomes learned? Now, Swayam eva spuratyada. Everything becomes revealed. Krishna reveals. नाचहम आत्मा आत्मा आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञान दीपेन भास्वता. If one is pure devotee, then Krishna from within, he will give knowledge. So that we discussed already, okay? So if someone is doing devotional service, someone is performing devotional services, Krishna will reveal himself. We cannot understand Krishna by our own efforts. And Krishna is saying in Bhagavadgita, Naham prakasah sarvasya yoga maya samavrta. I am not revealed to everyone. Yoga maya samavrta. I cover myself with the yoga maya, with my divine potency. Mudha am navijana. So Mudha or foolish person cannot understand me. Okay. But Bhaktya mama vijana janati. Krishna is saying in same Bhagavad Gita that by devotional service, one can understand me very easily. Bhaktya mama vijana. And how? Yavan chasmi tattvata, as it is. Tattvata means as it is. So that is the beauty of devotional service. So that is why devotees are intelligent, because Krishna is revealing. And Srila Prabhupada is writing the purports. So many times he has said that I am not writing these purports. Krishna is revealing himself. And he is directly dictating these things to me. So that is why devotee is very intelligent, because whatever they are speaking, they are doing, Krishna is revealing himself to them. And we know the example, one is instant from the life of Baldev Vidyabhushan, when he has given some 1 week time to write about Lord, to write about Vedanta Sutra, and to establish the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. And Krishna manifested in front of him, and he revealed the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra, and he wrote a nice commentary called Govinda Bhasya. And that's how he won the argument, and he established the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta in front of the king and all other opponents. So Krishna helped him. Krishna revealed the knowledge. So like that, devotees are not fool. Krishna is with them, and Krishna is source of all the knowledge. Vedesha sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krita vedavid evacha. Vedavid means who is having the knowledge of Vedas. Krishna is having the knowledge of Vedas, because Vedas are his words only. So Vairagya means no more working for sense gratification. That is Vairagya. That is renouncement. Only for working Krishna, for the satisfaction of Krishna, that is called Vairagya. And to attain this Vairagya renouncement, one requires sufficient knowledge. That is called Jnana. So this knowledge and renouncement, two things required in human life. So when we say Vairagya, we see that there are sannyasis, and it is said that in Kali Yuga, 5 things are forbidden, and one of those things is sannyas. So in Kali Yuga, sannyas is not recommended in general. So some exceptions may be there, but we cannot call them general case. Okay, exceptions are not general. But in general, in Kali Yuga, sannyasa is forbidden as per the scriptures. Then why there are so many sannyasis in ISKCON? Sometimes people may think that, yeah, we are saying that sannyasa is varjit or forbidden. Then why there are so many sannyasis? Because there are different types of sannyasas. So why I'm talking about sannyasa? Because sannyasa is supposed to be vairagya. Yam sannyasam iti prahu yogam tam vidi pandava. So sannyasa and vairagya are related things. Sannyasi just renounce everything. But there are different categories. First is your Palagu Vairagya or fake renunciation. Fake renunciation means Krishna gives the example in Bhagavadgita. Karmendriyani sanyamya ya aste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimoodatma mithyacharah sa uchyate. Maybe someone left the house, left the job, left the family. So leaving is very easy, but catching is hard. Catching Krishna is hard. Leaving house is easy, but catching Krishna is hard. So what happens when they leave, but they do not catch Krishna? Okay. So before leaving, we must catch something. Otherwise, we will fall down. Suppose you are moving from one rope to another rope. Like in gymnastic, you might have seen. So what they do, before leaving, they hold something. So then they will not fall down. But what most of the Vairagis do, they leave everything, but they do not catch Krishna. That is why they fall down and they end up in drinking, smoking, and etc. So they are respected in society because they have renounced everything. But similarly, they are disrespected and people do not give them much respect when they see that they are smoking, they are drinking in saffron cloth. We see lots of examples, such examples, because they have not catch Krishna. So that we call Falgu Vairagya or false renunciation. Now comes some better version of it, and that is called Mayavad Vairagya. That is still better because Mayavadis are very strict. They do not even look at women. They do not speak, and they do not eat good things, and they remain somehow they remain detached from the society. They follow rules and regulations very strictly. Thus, they reject everything, considering everything as Maya. So that is called Mayavad. Everything is Maya. Family is Maya, house is Maya, and job is Maya, car is Maya. Now comes the first level or the highest level is Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagi are devotees. So that is why the sannyasi in Mayavad or in sannyasi in ISKCON are different. Because sannyasi in ISKCON are following Yukta Vairagya, which is sanctioned by Rupa Goswami. Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyati. So what is utilities principle? Okay. So Yukta Vairagi utilizes everything in service of Krishna. That is why it is called best. Best Vairagya is Yukta Vairagi. And anybody can be Yukta Vairagi. Householder can also be a Yukta Vairagi. Need not to be always a sannyasi. Like we saw the example of Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj was not sannyasi, but we can call him Yukta Vairagi. Okay. So that is the example of Yukta Vairagi. That is why devotees are Yukta Vairagi. They are, suppose if somebody is leaving house, considering house as Maya, and he is going to forest. So forest is also Maya. So neither the house belongs to us, nor the forest belongs to us. Nothing is our. So if a Mayavadi thinks that I will leave house and I will go to forest, but neither house is yours nor forest is yours. Everything is Krishna's property. Bhaktaram Yagna Tapsam Sarvaloko Maheshwaram. So we cannot leave everything because we need something to survive. But what should we do? To use everything in service of Krishna. That is called Yukta Vairagya. Okay. So that is why this is sanctioned. And now moving to the next. So when one is having Bhakti Yoga, he is having all the qualities, all the good qualities. And this is the shloka which is referred for this statement. Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavata Kinchina Sarver Gunes Tatra Samasate Sura. So when one becomes devotee, all the good qualities are manifested within him. So sometimes we see that some people are there who are not devotees, but they are very kind and they are very helpful. Maybe they are drinking. We say that, oh, he drinks sometime, but he's a good person. Like that you might have seen in your life as well. Yeah, he has some bad habits, but yeah, he's a good person. He's very kind, he's very helpful. And other side, we see devotees. When we go in association of devotees, we say that, oh, what type of devotee this person is he still having this hatred, envy, and he's not having good qualities. So who is best? A person who is not a devotee but having good qualities, or a devotee who is serving or trying to serve Lord, but he is having some bad qualities? Who is good? Who is best? Because that's how we compare, na? And then we say that, oh, why we came in bhakti? Our material life is good. At least we get some good people. Here in bhakti, we are seeing that everybody is having some fault. They are very greedy. They expect some pujala pratishta, but they are not good. But outside, we find some good people. That is why sometimes we hate, and it demotivates us in bhakti. So what can be the answer? Who is best? A devotee who is having some bad qualities, or a person who is not a devotee but he is having good qualities? Yes.
Devotee, of course, Prabhuji.
Devotee, Prabhuji.
Some bad quality.
Puji, screen sharing is gone. You are seeing some directory structure.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji, for reporting. Yeah. So this was my, you can say this was my query. And so when I saw that, I heard about this thing, so I came to know that many devotees discuss about this topic. That yeah, there might be some good qualities in people who are not devotee, but actually these good qualities will not remain forever. These good qualities came because of their past samskaras. Okay, because we see Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that these are jatasya. By birth, these qualities are there. By their previous karma, some samskaras are there. And if we are not serving Lord, so what happens? These good qualities are gone away after some time. And other side, if you see some devotee who is not having good samskara, maybe because of his previous karmas or his environment, whatever is there, but he is trying to improve himself. So what will happen? So gradually his heart will become purified. Okay. Shromatam Sukatha Krishna, Punya Shramana Kirtana, Hirdayantastaya Vadrani, Vidunoti, Skut Satam. So his heart will become purified. So there is one person who is not smoking right now, but we cannot say in future maybe he will start. But other side, some another person is there who is a smoker, chain smoker, but gradually he is leaving and he is improving. So that person is best. At least he is improving. We can see his progress. And other side, we see some person who is right now is very good, but slowly he will try to catch up those bad qualities because he is not having good association. He is not having association of devotees or Lord. And when we say some person who is kind, but actually he is not kind. If somebody is actually kind, he is kind to everyone. Bhutva Deen Ganeshako Karunaya. When we sing Sad Goswami Astakam, we say Bhutva Deen Ganeshako Karunaya. They were kind to everyone, all the living entities. But we see the kindness of these people, so-called kind people, their kindness is biased. They are only kind to certain people, not to everyone. Like we see some people, they oppose any violence to dogs. That is good. But actually they are not kind because the same person, they are eating chicken, meat, etc. They are opposing violence on dogs. That is good. We can say they are kind, but absolutely if we say they are not kind because same time they are eating chicken. So like that, in material people there may be kindness, but that is not absolute. They are not kind to everyone, but devotees are kind to everyone. If you see Sadhu Goswami Astakam, there are various qualities. Bhara Vahan Taraku. Okay. Dhira Dhir Jana Priyo. Everybody used to love them. Their kindness is not biased like the kindness of non-devotees. So that is the difference. Okay. So that is why when one performs the Bhakti Yoga, all the good qualities are manifested in his heart. And now coming to the 8th shloka, it is written that anybody in this material world, they are supposed to perform some duties, but these duties must be aligned towards the service of Krishna. Dharma swanustitha punsaha visvaksena kathasuya na utpadayedi yadi ratim shrama evahi kevalam. If your occupational duties are not resulting in visvaksena kathasuya, if you are not getting interest in Hari Katha, na utpadayedi yadi ratim, so then your life is just a hard work. So you cannot say that your life is perfect if you have not developed the taste in Hari Katha. Okay, so whatever we are doing as per our psychophysical nature, which we call the Varnashram Dharma, on the basis of our gunas, we have to perform certain duties. But the ultimate aim of all the duties should be to please Krishna, to progress in devotional service. If our aim is different, then our life is just waste. It's just a hard work. Like donkey, Prabhupada is giving example of donkey. The donkey is doing hard work, and for that the donkey is doing hard work. Okay. But ultimately, whatever we do, it should please Krishna. Then only we can say that our life is successful. And there is one shloka, Etavan Sankhya Yogabhyam Swadharma Parinishthaya Janmalabha Parapunsa Ante Narayana Smriti. Whatever you have done in your life, whether you have performed any type of process, whether you have performed any type of duties, if Krishna is not remembered at the end of the life, or when we are leaving this body, if we are not able to remember Krishna, then our life is waste. Janma labha parapunsa ante narayana smriti. We can say our life is successful if we are able to remember Krishna at the time of death. So how will we remember Krishna at the time of death? Our activities should be like that. That ultimately at the time of death, we should remember Krishna. So how will it happen? When we regularly remember Krishna. That is why we are chanting, we are listening, and so whatever duty we are performing, that must result in remembering Krishna at the time of death. So then only we can say that our life is successful. So that's what discussed in this shloka, that the ultimate aim of Varnashrama Dharma is to please Krishna. So sometimes people will say that Varnashrama Dharma was to perform the occupational duty and to have some material benefit, to have some artha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So Varnashram Dharma is for artha, gaining artha, but it is not like that. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly mentioned that Varnashrama Dharma is not to earn money. It is to please Lord Krishna ultimately. That is why Krishna is saying in Bhagavadgita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shrishtam Guna Karma Vibhagasa. I have created these 4 Varnashrama, okay, on the basis of Guna and Karma. So ultimately, if someone is not able to perform the pure devotional service, gradually by following Varnashrama Dharma, he can attain the Supreme Lord, okay. Now, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that people forget their ultimate aim of life, like people who take care of the needs of the body and mind are not satisfied in their occupational duties because they do not satisfy the soul. It is just waste of time. So example is given of a cage. In this cage, there are some birds, and we are cleaning the cage daily, but we are not giving food to the birds. So what will happen? Ultimately, birds will die. So similarly, we are doing occupational duties. We are trying to mimic the Varnashrama Dharma, because in Kali Yuga, we are not following Varnashrama Dharma as well. Even if we say that we are in Grasthashrama, but that is not actual Grasthashrama. What it should be as per Vedic standard. So we cannot say that we are in any ashrama, but we are kind of trying to mimic this Varnashrama Dharma, okay? So we can think that, yeah, Varnashrama Dharma as a Grasta, our duty is to earn and satisfy our family, but no. Our ultimate duty is to satisfy Krishna and make our family Krishna conscious. There is one verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that one should not become a father, become a mother, become a guru, become a worshipable deity if he cannot, or become a husband or wife if they cannot give Krishna bhakti to their dependents. Okay. Guru na syat, pita na syat, like that. There is one shloka. So if we are not able to make our family or our related persons Krishna conscious, then it is waste of life. We are giving them all best things. We are giving them best gifts, best clothes, best food, everything. But if we are not telling about Krishna, it is like cleaning the cage, but not giving food to the birds. Suppose you are going in car and you have driver, but after some time in long journey, you are cleaning your car, you are cooling it, you are refueling your car, but you are not giving time for driver to sleep. You are not giving driver anything to eat. So what will happen? You are cleaning your car, refueling it, everything, but you are not taking care of driver. So what will happen? What can happen? Hare Krishna. What will happen? Suppose you are in long journey. Okay. Are you not able to unmute? Hare Krishna. Okay. So what will happen? That your driver will fall asleep and you may face some bad accident. Okay. So that is how our life is. We are not taking care. If we are not taking care of our soul and we are doing everything for our body, then it will be waste of life. Not waste of time, but waste of life. So soul is satisfied only when it's engaged in devotional service, hearing and chanting. Important thing to make advancement in devotional service is to increase the appetite for hearing. Yes. Driver will leave. Driver will leave this world, and with driver we will also leave if we are not giving food or rest to the driver. Okay. So with driver or everybody who is in car, they will also leave. Right? Okay. So now moving ahead. So there are lots of things to discuss, but once there is shortage of time. Now coming to the next slide. So there is similarly one shloka in which it is clearly stated that Tyaktva sudharmam charana bhujam hari bhajana pakoatha patetva yadi yatra ko avadram mushyam kim wo artha apato vijitam swadharmata. So if somebody fails in devotional service, there is no harm. Okay, at least he tried his best, and Lord will be pleased by his efforts only. In bhakti, there is no harm. Even if you fail, Lord will accept you. At least you tried your best. Do your best. Let Krishna do rest. Like Jatayu was not able to save Mata Sita from Ravana. So Lord Rama did not tell that, oh, I will not liberate you because you became unsuccessful in saving Mother Sita. Rama did not complain. He accepted, he embraced, and he liberated Jatayu. Even he was failed. On other side, if we see somebody is very successful in his material life, he has achieved everything. But if he is not a devotee, he is considered failed. Okay? Because he has to do same thing in his next life as well. Whatever he has achieved, whatever degree, whatever material qualification, whatever property he has gained whatever money he has collected. In next life, he has to do the same thing again. So everything is failed. Okay. So that is the shloka. And similarly, we will move ahead. So what should we do then? We should associate with the devotees. And when we are in association of the devotees, all the good qualities are manifested. Sangat sanjayate kama. So you might have heard this shloka, Sangat sanjayate kama. What association you do, that desires comes in your heart. Sangat sanjayate kama. Kama means desires. So how your desires are developed? By association. If we are in good association, good desires will come, and first it is mentally done, then verbally, and then physically. Kayena vacha manasa. So desires comes in mind, then we speak, and then we perform. So our actions are not direct. It starts with our desires. So that is why for good desires, you must have good association. And Lord is always there in association of devotees. If you want to find Lord, so Lord will always be there where the Hari Katha is there. So in Hari Katha, you will find devotees as well as Lord himself. Naham tishtami vaikuntha yoginam hirdayeshu va yatra gayanti mat bhaktau tatra tishtami narada. O Narada, I am not there in Vaikuntha. Yoginam hirdayeshu, neither I am there in heart of yogis. Yatra gayanti mat bhaktau, where my devotees are singing my glories. Tatra tishtami Narada, there I am sitting always. Tomar hirdaya sada Govinda Visram. So Prabhupada is saying, therefore, our Krishna consciousness movement is to give chance to the people in general hearing about Krishna. That's all. Either hearing Hare Krishna mantra or hearing Bhagavad-gita or hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, anything you like, hear about Krishna. Try to hear about Krishna in meek and humble attitude. Then gradually everything will be revealed. So hearing with proper attitude will certainly benefit. Otherwise, it will become an aparadha. Because we are daily reading the aparadhas. And one of the aparadha is to consider the glories of Harinam, to be imagination, to not give proper attention to the Harinam. Like that, there are Nam aparadhas. So if we are not hearing about Lord properly, and we are not in proper attitude, we are in challenging mood, so it will become aparadha. Rather than benefiting, it will give negative effects. So that is why we must be careful. And Srila Prabhupada, because of Srila Prabhupada, his mercy, we are able to hear about Krishna daily. Srila Prabhupada told that our temples are not just temples. Our temples are Gurukul. Because daily we must have Bhagavatam class and Bhagavad-gita. And that's which is followed in all the temples. That is the standard of all the temples. Okay. Daily must be Bhagavatam class. There must be some Bhagavatam class and other classes as well. So that is why. So what we learned, that the real goal of one's occupational duty is to please Krishna. Okay, occupational duties are meant for liberation, not for material gain. So when we say liberation doesn't mean that we leave this body and we go to Vaikuntha. Okay, liberation means to free from all the material modes. That is called liberation. But do not think liberation means that we will leave this body and go to Vaikuntha. So liberation means to free oneself from the modes of material nature. And how we do that? Mamevai prapadyante mayametam tarantite. One who is surrendered to Krishna, that is called liberative. Mayametam tarantite, free from Maya. So occupational duties are meant for liberation, to get rid of modes of material nature, not for material gain. It is to come out of material nature, not to indulge in material nature. Dharma needs to be performed for apavarga, not for material wealth. Apavarga means higher purpose. Okay. So sometimes we see there are many difficulties in the life of pure devotees. They might having some disease, something is missing in their life. So we may say that he is pure devotee, then why he is not praying to Krishna? Krishna can cure him, Krishna can remove his all the problems. But devotees do not use Krishna for small things, even for liberation. Suppose you have a sword, okay, sword, or you have an axe. Axe means if you want to cut something, there is one tool that is called axe or sword. And you want to cut vegetables, so you will not use axe or sword because that is meant for higher purpose. And you cannot cut vegetable. If you cut vegetable from sword, you will be called fool. We will be called fool if we cut vegetables from sword. Similarly, if somebody asks some material gain, some cheap things, oh, cure my body, remove my obstacle, do this. So that is actually not considered a pure devotee or good devotee. Good devotee means who accepts everything and he considered everything as a blessing of Krishna. Sukhe tako, dukhe tako, bol hari. In every situation, he thanks the Lord and he chants the glories of Ashrishya Padaratam Pinashtumam Adarsanar Marmahatam Karot. So, oh my Lord, whether you accept me or whether you reject me, in every situation you are my Lord. So dharma needs to be performed upvarga for higher purpose, to serve the Krishna, not for material wealth. Don't use artha for kama, sense gratification. So actually, what is dharma, artha, and kama moksha? These are called chatur purusarth. And what is the concept? Like people think that dharma means do your duty, artha means get some money, kama means do whatever you want with those monies, and moksha, finally leave everything at the time of death. Actually, that is not the concept. Nowadays, we cannot say that we are performing chatur purusarth, because dharma means to perform the duty as per the Vedic instructions. That is called dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Dharma means instructions of Lord. We cannot say that anything is dharma. Whatever we are doing is not dharma. Dharma means sanctioned by the scriptures. So if you are doing some activity which is sanctioned by scripture, by that you are earning some artha. Artha doesn't mean money. Nowadays, people have money, but they have destroyed their family life. They have destroyed their relationships. They have only money left. Nobody in their life to share their sorrows or anything, their thoughts. They are talking with ChatGPT, Grok. They are asking help from ChatGPT. They are not talking to anyone. They are totally alone. They have money, but they do not have artha. Artha means your life must have certain value. And value comes from family, from nature. If you are not living in good nature, like people living in Delhi, they might have money, but that we will not call artha, because they are not having good health. So artha means you are having good values in your life by performing dharma. That is called artha. So money is not artha, okay? Money is part of artha, but completely not artha. It is a small part of artha. Artha means some value of life. If somebody is Having somebody is living with family in good environment, he is earning less, he is having more artha than a person who is earning lakhs but he doesn't have family support and he is not living in good nature. So artha, and then come kama. Now by these values or these resources in life which we are getting by dharma, we get certain artha, certain values, and by these values we can fulfill our desires, and those desires must not be the sense gratification. They should be for moksha, for liberation. Okay, so that is called chatuspurusartha: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So jnani, what they do, what is their dharma, what is their duty? To control the senses, and ultimately higher purposes to merge into the supreme. Yogi, yama niyama, following strict rules and regulations, same sense control, performing meditation, and then their higher aim is Paramatma realization. But their ultimate goal is also the same as Jnani, merging into the impersonal Brahman. So destination of Jnani and Yogi are same, merging in impersonal Brahman. But there is difference. What is the difference? Difference of attitude. Even we have seen that some Asura, they got impersonal liberation. They are merged in the body of Krishna. Like Krishna killed Shishupal, he is merged in the body of Krishna. That is impersonal liberation that Asura can also get. But there is difference in terms of their consciousness. So consciousness of Jnani is that Lord cannot be uh, of any form. Lord is formless. So he rejects the form of Lord. But a Paramatmavadi, a yogi, he accepts the form of Lord, but he is not interested in that. Okay. He just want to meditate on that form and he want to get liberated. That's it. He wants to merge in impersonal Brahman. He takes the help of form, but ultimately he wants to merge in the Brahman. He accepts the form, unlike Jnani. And then third is devotee. Devotee, he performs hearing, listening, serving Lord in many ways, Navada Bhakti. And his final aim is, his apvarga is to love the Lord or to serve the Lord. So that is the attitude. Okay. That is the difference between these three. So ultimately, we can say that we must have a proper aspirations in our life. Never direct one's desire for sense gratification. One can desire for self-preservation. Jnana tattva jigyasa. Inquire about absolute truth. As it is mentioned in one of the sloka, yavanna jigyasata atma tattvam. That we should inquire about the higher purpose of our life. We should not waste our life in sense gratification, in meditation of Paramatma, or in Jnana Yoga, and getting the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. So we must understand the ultimate aim of this life, and we must also find out the best process for the same. And the Srimad Bhagavatam will help us in this. So there is one shloka, very famous, Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So the absolute truth which we are trying to achieve or perceive, it can be understood in three ways. Okay. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdyate. So that absolute truth is called Brahma, impersonal Brahman, Paramatma, Super Soul, and Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these all are different aspects of absolute truth. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabdate. And the example is given of a glass of milk. So first realization about milk is hearing about milk. So he is having some impersonal knowledge of milk. That milk might be white or it must be in glass. So he's having some knowledge about milk. But then comes Paramatma realization. He can see a form and he can appreciate that form. He can see that beautiful glass and milk is there, white, shining, seeing nice texture, smelling very nice. And third is the realization of devotees. So in the realization of devotees or Bhagavan realization, ultimate experience through tasting the milk. So one who is tasting the milk, he is having all above realization. He is having the knowledge of description of milk. He is seeing the texture, he is smelling, but he is tasting as well. So similarly, when someone becomes the devotee, he is having all the advantages of Paramatma realization and Brahman realization. Because Paramatma is nothing but expansion of Krishna. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastam Govinda Purusham Tamam Bhajami. Krishna only expands as Paramatma in all the living entity and non-living entities. And then comes Brahman. So what is Brahman? Brahman is nothing but the light coming out of body of Krishna. So Krishna's body is very much effulgent. But for his devotees, when devotees want to see Krishna, so he just remove this light, this shining, so that devotees can see him clearly. So is there any shloka in which it is stated that, oh Lord, your body is so shining, can you please remove this light so that I could see your body, I could see your bodily feature? So devotee is praying, oh Lord, just remove this light, I want to see your body. Remove this impersonal Brahman feature, I want to see your beautiful Shyama Sundara. Yama Shyama Sundaram Machinte Guna Swarupam. So now I will unmute you and you can tell that shloka. Because whatever we are speaking, that must be based on scriptures. It's not that.
हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितम्.
Oh, yeah. So I think it is Ishopnish. Yes. Yes. So you are very scholar and I'm very happy that you are able to locate this shloka. It is Ishopnishad, I think mantra 15. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apitam mukham tattam pushan apavano satya dharmaya drishtaye. Oh Lord, Hiranmayena patrena, your effulgence is like gold. Hiranya means gold. Na Hiranyakashipu. So why Hiranyakashipu? Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means bad. He was fond of gold, money and sleeping or other things related to bad. So that is why he is called Hiranyakashipu. And actual meaning of Hiranya is gold. So remove your golden effulgence and I am requesting you to show your beautiful face for the Satya Dharmaya, for your devotee. Please show your beautiful face. Apihitam mukham. Now your face is covered with this effulgence. So this effulgence or this jyoti or this light is nothing but this is the light coming from the body of Krishna. So if somebody is seeing the light, so that is the half knowledge or that is not the complete knowledge about Krishna. I have seen many organizations, I will not name, but their ultimate aim is light. They cannot go beyond light. And Krishna is saying that Naham Prakasa Sarvasya, I do not reveal everyone. I cover myself with this light. Yoga Maya Samavarta. But only devotees can understand Krishna. They can see beyond light. यस्या प्रभा प्रभवतो जंगदंड कोटिस्वशेषु वसुदादि विभूति भिन्नम तद ब्रह्म निष्कलम अनंतम अशेष भूतम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तम हम भजामि. In Brahma Samhita it is directly mentioned that by the effulgence of Krishna everything is getting effulgence. So whatever light you are seeing is coming from the light of Krishna. Krishna is the light of Krishna's body is source of all the lights. That is why even if we see sun, we say Surya Narayan. Surya Narayan means the Surya is getting the light from Narayana. That is why it is called Surya Narayana. He is getting light from the body of Krishna. And ultimately, if we go beyond that light, there is beautiful Shyam Sundar form of Krishna. Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Madami. And that Prabha, that light is called Brahman. It is clearly mentioned. And there is one shloka, Brahmano hi pratishtaham. I am the basis, I am the source of Brahman. Krishna is clearly saying this in 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So Brahmano hi pratishtaham is a reference from Bhagavad Gita. And like that, there are many references. I am not going in impersonal or personal. Okay. There are many shloka in Bhakti Yoga, 12th chapter, 5th shloka, Klesho adhikatarastesam, avyakta sakta chetasam, avyakta hi gatir dukkham, tehavat viravapyate. One who follows the path of impersonal Brahman, they suffer much as compared to other. Krishna is clearly saying in 12th chapter. Then in 7th chapter, Krishna is saying in, I think, 24th shloka, or yeah, Avyaktam Vyakti Mahapannam Manyate Mam Abuddhaya. The foolish person, they think that I am coming from some avyakt, some unmanifested feature or some light. It is not that like that. Okay. In many serials, it is shown that Krishna is coming from some light or Vishnu is coming from some light. It is not like that. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that only fools think like that I am coming from some unmanifested thing. Avyaktam Vyakti Mahapannam Manyate Mama Buddhaya. So like that, there are many references, and I will not go into that. I think it is enough to convince yourself and others. Now moving ahead, these are the three features, and the Bhagavan realization is highest because it covers Paramatma realization as well as Brahman realization. Okay. So now it is explained that how one can realize the absolute truth. We already understood that, yeah, Bhagavan realization is highest, but how to realize, that is the main question. Obviously, through Jnana and Vairagya, one can understand some features of Lord like Paramatma and Brahman feature. But yeah, but when one wants to understand about the Lord or about the Bhagavan, he must approach pure devotee. That is the only way to understand about Lord. And sometimes people will say that why we require some mediator. We will approach Lord directly. We do not need any mediator. So that is not good. Why? Because this process is not made by anyone. The process of taking shelter of Guru is made by Krishna. Krishna has told that if I am to be known, then only by the mercy of Guru, I may be known. Okay, by serving Guru, I can be known easily. So that is why this is a recommendation from Krishna. We want to get Krishna in our life, but we are not following his instructions. Krishna has made all the sampradayas. So we want Krishna, but we don't want to listen to him. So Krishna is saying that take the shelter of Guru, serve the Guru, then only you will get the knowledge about the Supreme, and then only you can achieve. So, like we have read in Bhagavadgita, Tadvidi Pranipaten Pariprashnena Sevaya Uptekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattva-darshina. So, who is Tattva-darshina? Tattva-darshina means who has realized the Tattva, the absolute truth. And that is called Guru. So, take shelter of Guru or the devotees, then only we can realize or we can understand Krishna. And we have seen in the life of the devotees, Krishna sent some of his servants. And like in life of Dhruv Maharaj, Krishna sent Narad Muni, like that, Krishna sends. So this process is recommended by Krishna. It is not about mediator or anyone. Okay. So now there is one shloka related to that. If one wants to have the correct knowledge of Krishna, so he must seek for bhakti yoga only. Because if we serve Krishna, we will have knowledge of everything. If we serve Krishna, everyone is satisfied. We don't need to satisfy separately this person, that group. Because if Krishna is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. There are many examples, like we saw in case of Kunti Maharani or Draupadi, when the sage Durvasa arrived. So they were not having any food item and they were very afraid that what will happen, because Durvasa Rishi can curse them if he is not properly welcomed. But as soon as they offered and they give some remnant to Krishna, and when Krishna accepted that remnant, so what they saw, that all the sages, they completely satisfied. They were not feeling hungry because Krishna is satisfied. So if Krishna is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. No need to satisfy everyone. And if we do reverse, we try to satisfy everyone, so nobody will be satisfied. Finally, they will find some fault and they will say, because they will not see your sacrifice, they will see your fault and they will be unsatisfied. People are like that only. Whatever good you do, if you do some mistake, they will remember that part and finally they will be unsatisfied. On other side, we have Krishna. Even if you do many bad things, but if you have a tinge of bhakti towards Krishna, Krishna forgets everything. Reverse, and he is satisfied. So like that. Sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito. Api chetu suduracharo baste mamananya. Even if some sinful person is engaged in my service, he must be considered a sadhu, a good person. So like that, Krishna forgives everyone. So we must try to satisfy Krishna. Then only everybody will be satisfied. Yasmin tuste jagat tustam. So that is the ultimate aim of Varnashrama Dharma. So now coming to the next section in this sloka, the qualifications to perform the Bhakti Yoga are given. And these are highlighted as follows. Yad anudhyasina yukta, by remembering the Supreme Lord. So first is hearing. So our devotional service starts from hearing. We came in devotional life when we heard about Gita Course. So everything starts from hearing. Okay. That is why Krishna has given us 2 ears. And some devotees were saying that all the body parts are, all the senses which are knowledge acquiring senses, only ears are open for 24 hours. Even if you sleep, your ears will be very active. That is why you wake up suddenly when some sound is there or some alarm is there, because your ears are active. Sometimes in winter, your nose are closed. Your nose is closed, but your ears are always active. So that is why hearing, we are meant for hearing. Okay. So if we hear about Krishna, we can start our devotional life, and more as we hear more and more, so it becomes Swadu Swadu Pade Pade. And the nectar starts coming, and we want to listen more about Lord. It is not that after hearing we are satisfied. No. Then secondly, what happens? Karma Granthi Nibandhanam. The knot of fruitive activities is cut. When we hear about Krishna, so our heart becomes purified, and if our heart becomes purified, we are immediately liberated from the karmas. Suppose there is one prisoner in prison. So if he becomes a good person, they will release him. Because jail is not for punishing someone. Jail is for reforming someone. If somebody is reformed, he is showing good behavior, he is relieved immediately. Similarly, we are in jail, we are in material world, we are suffering our karmas. But when we hear about Krishna, Krishna directly enters through our ears in our heart. And when our heart is purified, then we are relieved from our karmas. We are freed from jail. Okay. And Chindanti Kovidastasya Kona Kuryat Katharatim. So who is that person who will not try to do the same thing? Who will not try to cut the granthis, the knots of fruitive activities? Everybody wants to cut the knots. And everybody wants to be free from suffering. Nobody is there who wants suffering. But they are not doing what they're supposed to do. Only by devotional service, by hearing about Krishna, we can relieve from suffering. We can be relieved from suffering. Okay. So Kona Kuryat Katha Ratim. So who is the person in this world who doesn't want to be relieved? There is no one. They are asking questions. So that is discussed in this session, and now few verses are there in which the different stages of devotional service are described. Susrasa Sraddha Dhanasya Vasudeva Katha Rachi Syan Mahet Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishyavanat. Like that, there are many processes given in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu as well. 9 processes. So these are highlighted in upcoming verses. Okay. So if we see today's session, we discuss about the glorification of the Bhakti Yoga, why it is superior, why it is Parodharma, and how it is different from other processes, and how Jnana and Vairagya are part of Bhakti, and what are the different aspects of knowing absolute truth, and which knowledge is perfect, knowledge of Supreme Brahman, knowledge of Paramatma, or knowledge of Bhagwan, and how to achieve the supreme truth, Bhakti, by Bhakti only. And what is the Bhakti? By hearing, in association of devotees. Okay, that is the start of the Bhakti, and that is the essence of the Bhakti. So that's what we discussed today. If you have any questions, you can ask. I think I took lots of your time, so I thank you for listening and for bearing. If any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sadatust Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam,
Dandavat Pranam,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Very nice session, Prabhu. Prabhuji, already it is too late. Maybe next session you can throw some light on this. Now, every sampradaya has its own Vedanta Sutra, and ours is Govinda Bhashya, as you said. So, how is this Govinda Bhashya different from other Vedanta Sutras? What is the distinctive thing? Just wanted to know if it can be told in few.
Yes,
You
yes.
can quickly say it is fine, because I don't want to take time of other devotees, and I don't know whether it is. So if you want to add this in next session is also okay.
Okay, so I will summarize in 1 minute that why Vedanta, different Vedanta Sutra or Vedanta Bhashya is written, commentary is written. Actually, there is concept of Prasthantrayi. Prasthantrayi means if you want to establish a sampradaya, you must have a commentary on 3 things which are called Prasthantrayi. In Prasthantrayi, first thing is Upanishad. You must have commentaries on Upanishads or Bhashya on Upanishad. Second thing is Bhagavadgita. It is also part of Prasthantrayi. That is why when somebody says, no, why there are many Gitas, Ashtavakra Gita, Ye Gita, Wo Gita, why Bhagavad Gita? Then my answer is because it is part of Prasthantrayi. Simple. So Prasthantrayi, second is Bhagavad Gita, and third is your Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra. So if you want to claim your sampradaya to be authentic, you must prove your philosophy by these 3. That is called Prasthantrayi. And Baldev Vidyabhushan told that our sampradaya is already having commentary because we are part of Madhva Sampradaya. And before that, we have Shrimad Bhagavatam. Shrimad Bhagavatam is natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam, as mentioned in Garud Purana. But these opponents, they were not satisfied by this answer. They thought that it is simply trying to skip because they are not having proper knowledge and it is not authentic sampradaya. So if you want to prove your sampradaya, you must write commentary. And what is best about Veda, this Govinda Bhashya, that in this Govinda Bhashya, Baldev Vidyabhushan proved that Shrimad Bhagavatam is natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So he took help of all the Shrimad Bhagavatam shlokas and he proved, he established the connection between 2 and he proved that we are, that this Shrimad Bhagavatam is natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So that is proved by Baldev Vidyabhushan in his commentary. That makes it different from other, because what others have done, they have proved the Vedanta Bhashya from Vedas or Upanishad, but he has proved Vedanta Sutra from Shrimad Bhagavatam. That is the different thing which he has done. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Puri. Hare Krishna. If any other question or query or any suggestion. Ji, Hare Krishna. Sadhguru Prabhuji, if you want to ask something.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. Very nicely explained. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your question. Hare Krishna. So, thank you all for joining. And I'm really sorry that it took lots of time because in between my internet connection was fluctuating. So, now we will close this session. If you have any queries, you can also ask in group. There are many good devotees. You can either ask them or directly ask to me as well if you want. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। थैंक यू एवरीवन। हरे कृष्णा।